Welcome to this CSS tutorial. Now in this video we're going to be talking about form. Okay, we're going to be talking about forms. Now you have gone to websites where you see forms, probably a website where you need to fill in some kind of form for you to be able to go over to the next page. When you fill in the form and then you click submit to be able to go to the next page. You have seen a lot of forms in websites. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about in this video. We're going to be creating the basic form elements and how they work and everything. So this is, as you can see here, this is how you create a form by using the form element. Okay, it has an opening and a closing tag. Now as for this action, you can see we have an action attribute and a method attribute. Now I don't want you to worry about these two attributes. This is for the server-side coding. I don't want you to worry about it for now, but just know that this is the basic form structure. So as for the action and the method is for a server-side code, where the server will need to process the information that we are going to pass inside of our input boxes. Okay, so don't worry about these two attributes for now. You can as well just ignore them, as it's just for the server-side coding. So it's just for the PHP and ASP, and we have not gotten to that. Tutorial for now. So just forget about this action and method. But just know that this is the basic form structure. Okay, just focus on the form element for now. So now after the form element, we need to start putting our input elements. Okay. So I already have this. Let me just paste it here. Now as you can see, this is a name label, and this is just a text. And now after this label, we have an input type of text. And we have seen this before. The type is text. And now as for this name, I still don't want you to worry about this because this has to do with our server-side coding. So don't worry about this name attribute for now. Okay. Now for the next one, we have an address label, which is also a text. And then we say input type, and it's still text. And for the phone label, we say input type, but this one is a bit different because the type is tel, okay, telephone. And this used to be text before, but now that we have HTML5, they now brought this telephone value for the type. Okay, so you can also use text. You won't have any problem, but it's a good practice when using a phone label. Always make sure you use the telephone value. Okay, and as for the email as well, the email label, the type is also email. Okay, and you can also use text here, but like I said, it's not a good practice. So when you have a phone label, make sure you use the telephone, and when you have an email label, make sure you use the type of email. Okay, so now one more thing here is, as you can see here, input elements are inline elements. Okay, normally by default they are always placed side by side. So because we don't want them side by side is the reason we added these break tags. You can see we added a break tag, and what this break tag is doing is just creating space. We just added this break tag so we can make them to be in a top-down order. Okay, we don't want them side by side, so that's the use of this break tag. We are setting a break tag here. We don't want them side by side. We just want a break tag so they can be on top of each other. Okay, so now one more thing we need to do here, since this is an input, this is a form, and let's just add a h1 tag for this to make some sense at least. So we just say, no, let's use a h2, a heading 2. And we'll say fill in the information below, and hit the submit button. So we created a h2 element here, says fill in the information below and hit the submit button. Okay, now we will be creating this submit button in future tutorials. Don't worry about that for now, but for now let's refresh this and see how this looks. Refresh on our web page. Let's refresh here. As you can see, we have our input boxes. You can see we have the name label, and we also have the address label, and we have the phone label and the email label. And this is our boxes. You can see this is our boxes. We can type any name here. So that is that. In the next video, we are still going to continue on with building our form elements. We are going to be adding a submit button. So we are going to be working a lot more on this form topic. Okay, so don't worry about this, but just know that this is how to create your input boxes for now. As I will see you guys in the next